Going live.
Oh.
All right. I think we're there. What's up, everybody? And welcome to the Juices Loose podcast. Again, we're just four of us this week. Clocked its computer. Finally took a dump on him. It's old, but he tried a bunch of different things trying to get it working. And Terrell, if you watch Terrell's video, he's fighting the Rona right now. So he's not feeling got a little bit of a cough, so he's gonna sit out. So it's just gonna be us four. Retrodeath's on some kind of medication. He sounds hoarse. It's
yeah, like some new treatment for my asthma and shit, and it's just fucking with my throat, but that's okay. For the rest, I'm okay.
just we don't need to
At
talk.
Least no asthma, right? No asthma.
I guess catch a major lag. People sounding like robots to me.
Yeah, definitely got some issues too. Your video quality's low. You're lagging quite a bit. So
I do.
We're having issues. We're having issues tonight, but
I'll be back.
The Euro division is falling apart. Clocked it did want me to relay a few things. Or no, Terrell. Sorry, Terrell wanted me to relay a few things. He wanted to get off his chest. He said he's changed his mind. Pokemon and Sonic are both trash franchises.
I forgot about that.
He wanted me to He wanted me to relay that to everybody.
Yeah,
he finally wised up to Pokemon being trash. He's not buying any more remakes, remasters.
And if you remember, he did actually say, when he thinks about it, Sonic Forces is actually maybe the best Sonic game, even though it's so bad. That's how bad the franchise is actually.
Oh, there's Clocked. He could probably join with your phone there, Clocked. I didn't even think about that. But
also,
he could be in the chat.
He was saying the same thing, yo. He was talking about Sonic. He was playing Sonic Forces. He said, "You know what? This might be better than Odyssey." I was like, "What? Come on, man!" And he's like, "No, legit." I was like, "All right, hey, man, that's a big thing to say, but all right."
But yeah, so Clocked, you can be you can be in the chat and participate that way, and don't really have. I mean, I checked the podcast or the questions. We were going to talk about Microsoft's little 12 hours of Xbox Live double price, and I got a not a conspiracy theory. I had a theory about that. I want to get your guys' thoughts. And then anything else?
I already agree.
With and T's mic sounding real bad right now. Did you switch to a different device, or are you still?
No, I'm a bounce out though.
Okay.
I'm trying to do something before I bounce.
Cool.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse. It's breaking.
He just crawled into a hole in the ground. But yeah, so it's always interesting, But anyway, wish Terrell the best, man. I hope he's watching. I hope he's taking care of himself. The only other time, if anybody. I don't watch CNN, but when that Chris Cuomo, I think is his name, got it, he still did his daily videos from home, and he was kind of describing how hard it was to breathe. His chest would hurt, but his doctor told him take deep breaths. Don't give in. Don't lay down, because that's what it wants you to do is lay down and let that shit settle into your lungs. And he got through it. So Terrell's a fighter. He'll be back on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do it for the waifus, Terrell. Do it for Pyra.
Mm-hmm. Mithra, she's waiting for you. You come out of this. But anyway, let's check the questions, see what we got. I know we had a few, and then we'll go on to probably talk about the Resident Evil little video they did after that. So Ibsters, I don't think I read this. Question for everyone. In your video gaming careers, has there been a game you loved or enjoyed a lot, only to be surprised to see that it got bad reviews or nobody else has heard of it? That's a good one, because I don't usually check reviews on video games. I'm trying to think if anybody can think of one. I know I was surprised by... Was it... I want to say Xenoblade Chronicles X was at an 8. Yoshi's Woolly World was at an 8. I mean, that wasn't bad reviews, but I was actually surprised. The Metacritic on that I thought that was going to be a 90, easily. And it was 80. I think they go by 80,
It's like 80.
0 to 100, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's been one that really had bad reviews that I became aware of, a game I loved.
I actually know one. Days Gone. I remember when you played that. I remember when you played that fucking game and shit, and I love Days Gone. I didn't understand it, and you were like, "Yeah, this is like a super shitty rated game." And I'm like, "There's no way that's fucking Days Gone." And then it was Days Gone. Like, it came out of nowhere.
Wasn't it like a 70 or something?
Yeah, it was like a 70. It wasn't shitty. It wasn't like it was in the 40s or something.
Well, let's look.
You know? It got. I just checked right now. It says 71.
Okay, that's
a good score. I mean, in the end of the day, it's
still high, but I mean, I wasn't expecting it because I mean, if you take it into account, it's still on the very low side technically.
Oh, I would say I probably knew it got bad reviews before I played it though. It was Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater. Robert, are you there? Can you check that one? I feel like that had like really bad scores.
I thought it had. Let's see. No, again, 67, not too
67
crazy.
though. I mean,
it's still lower again.
Yeah, that's a solid.
Yeah, but again, it's still considered mixed.
I know, but that's to me after I played it, like, man, that was an incredible experience.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
that to me seems way lower than it should have been.
Yeah, I guess
maybe that's why they would get over.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing is that technically you gotta go by. I don't think any of us. I don't know. I don't think I played a game that was like rated at like 40 something and I was like, I love this game. I don't think there's been a game yet like that, but I think there are games that are mixed that, you know, I preferred a lot more than maybe the critic.
Well, there was
I'm pretty sure we could all find one, but that shit requires definitely some research and shit. You need time to figure that stuff out.
I don't remember if it had a subtitle to it, but the Far Cry game on the Xbox, original Xbox,
Instincts?
They changed it. Well, that I know Instincts was the Wii version, but I don't know if it was called Instincts on the Xbox or not. And that's one of my favorite Xbox games. And if I recall, because it was Instincts, they changed it and added like these cool. You get these enhancements, and you could like jump like across the fucking map. It was like really cool stuff. It was just a cool like linear single player adventure. And I'm curious. I feel like that one had a pretty low Metacritic.
I'll say, I guess.
Oh, no, I was at 85. So I was
even like fucking Color Splash has a 76. You know, that's a good score. Even though I loved it, I thought it was way better than a 76. But still, even then, it's like that's still a good score.
Anything under a 70,
I don't know if it falls in the same line of the question, but I'm legit still surprised how much I fucking love Sunshine and how much T and Juice hate that fucking game. Like I still don't understand that.
Terrell wasn't too thrilled with it.
It still has a 90 something on Metacritic though, just to let you know. It still has
that was that's one of those things where it was a 3D Mario game and everybody, wanted it. It looked amazing at the time, it blew people away with the visuals and stuff. And, I played through it and, I did the annoying missions, but told myself that, I loved the game. And then a few years later, I tried to replay it. And I just it just didn't work for me. And especially after Galaxy came out, going back, it's just like, how is this the same people that made both these games? Like,
Galaxy's fucking art. It's in a completely different league.
So Ibser says there's a 360 game called Wet.
Nice.
He said it was third-person combo shooter, grindhouse style, had 2 chain kills together in flashy ways.
Let's see.
I wonder what the score is.
I'm about to check. Let's see. What? It got a 70 though. That's not like this is a good score technically. You know what I'm saying? Like. You range from someone a critic gave it a 90 to down to a 40, but it's mixed, but like it's a good score.
That's why I don't really like those fucking meta reviews and all that shit, because people consider everything below a 90 like a horrible fucking grade.
People forget that 70 also has 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's so many other numbers before that, and I feel like but then people forget that when 7 is 3 points away from a 10. It's a good score. It's a good score, yo.
Are you there again, T?
Yeah, it's not showing my mic though.
Yeah, you're not on your mic. That's for sure.
Discord's not showing it. So,
yeah, it's something's picking up your voice, but I don't know what it is. Webcam mic maybe.
You know what though? For Ipsters, he said got bad reviews, or big thing is or nobody has heard of it.
Oh, nobody heard of it. Okay.
That's probably what he's talking about. So that's easier to say. I mean,
still, I'm sorry if you play a game like, man, this is amazing, and it gets a 70, you're probably like, I'd consider that lower than if.
Well, no, for sure. Like, yeah, totally. Like, for sure. Like, you're gonna be like, I feel like it should have got higher. Definitely, I agree. I get that. Like Star Fox Zero. I think Star Fox Zero deserves. I think Star Fox Zero deserves better.
Still laggy, but at least we can hear you.
Yeah, but so weird because TV's usually full HD the past few weeks.
Yeah,
it's my
Wi-Fi,
my Ethernet cable. And then what was happening was it was jumping back and forth because I have a faulty Ethernet cable. I just discovered that when I was messing around with my PC. So it was jumping back between Wi-Fi and broadband.
Please just sound good again.
Trying to look up different games, yo.
So, did you hear the question about a game?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
No. If you could think of any that you played and enjoyed, and then found out later that either had a fairly low Metacritic or not many people even heard of the game. I'm sure you have a lot of the ones where.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
A game that you played and enjoyed, and then you found out later that it had like a low Metacritic, or people had never even heard. Not a lot of people even heard of the game. If something comes up, we talked about
a game that I played and enjoyed that had a low Metacritic.
Yeah, that's a lot of games for him. Games you never heard of.
Yeah, we kind of went through like, we found some 70s, some 80s, but there wasn't really anything that was super low.
They're going to be okay. Well, I guess the lowest game that I really enjoyed, and I didn't, back then I wasn't really paying attention to Metacritic scores. It's probably Terminator 2 Judgment Day for Super Nintendo. It's not the greatest game. I liked it because it was one of those few licensed games that actually really followed the movie. Had to do more stuff, obviously, but it followed the timeline of Terminator 2, the movie. So you go to all the different locations you go to in the movie. I thought that was cool. But it's got some jank. It's pretty jank, but.
I got one.
I think it has a 4, probably Metacritic.
So Star Fox Zero, I probably knew the review, as I was playing it, but I really liked the game. And it's sitting at a 69, which isn't terrible, but that's for a Nintendo game, that's pretty low.
For a Star Fox Nintendo game, it's kind of like, damn, man, what happened?
To me, it was definitely closer to an 80, but.
Yeah, I really enjoy the game a lot. But for things people have never heard of, I feel like there's a million games you could list. There's too many games. Like, anytime I talk to a normal person, they don't know half the games you're saying, So it's kind of like, I guess
he left. But, yeah, that was a good question, though. That's something I can think. Maybe something else will pop into my head later on. So let's check the next one from Daco Tree here. Would you like the Switch Pro to work as a tablet controller like the Wii U? Could the Switch's success allow a second chance at Wii U technology? It'd have to be where the controller was basically a portable system, and you could just take it like the Switch that you could hook, that would connect to the next system. That could have a chance, but. I just don't see the dual screen gaming thing really being a selling point. It'd be more just the portable aspect of it.
I guess that depends on how you see the Switch Pro, because in this scenario, the Switch Pro is really like an evolved tablet that it can do more. But from our perspective, at least mine, like a Switch Pro would be constantly docked in a way, that it actually boosts the power of the system and not gives you more features. So it just depends on how you see that.
Or what if they had a companion like a docked only, but you could use the Switch and get some asymmetric gameplay? It would be cool. I just don't think they'd do it, and I don't think people would even care if they did it.
And that you'd be able to have DS and 3DS games on it, which would be awesome. that'd be fantastic. Just put a little cartridge slot in there so I could put a 3DS in there, and
we can't even get like Nintendo 64 games. You ain't getting fucking 3DS games.
You might get ports of 3DS games because they're gonna run out of Wii U games. They're about to run out. There's not many left.
I will pay some good money for a cartridge slot Nintendo. That's all I'm saying. I will pay for some good money. So do it, Nintendo. You got one customer here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got my Wii U in the background too, the box. Funny enough, I don't think you're gonna see a screen on a controller again, from anybody. It'd have to be, like I said, it'd have to be like the Switch. You could sync up to the next system and use it that way. But then again, which developers are gonna use it? Nintendo didn't even use it that much, honestly. I mean, they definitely put some games out that used it all, 100%. But for the majority of their games, it was, off TV play was pretty much. I didn't delete this one from last week. We talked about 3D World or Bowser's Fury.
Nice. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, we talked about this too. Didn't ask the question directly, but we basically talked about. I specifically said that I was excited for the future of an open world or more open style Mario game. But he mentioned a darker, more interesting story. And the darker part of it, something we really didn't talk about, was, why is Bowser just spinning in the middle there, covered in black tar, and then comes out as basically Godzilla? We've never even really touched upon that. What do you guys think about that? And would you like to see a more darker, not maybe overall, but just kind of slightly darker direction for the story?
Well, clearly, the tar is what's making this thing happen to him. And from my guess, since Bowser Jr. is helping you, he don't like it either. Mm-hmm. I think he wants you to. I think he wants you to help his dad get out of that stuff or whatever the issue is. So he's helping you try to, I guess, get all those bell towers, and break whatever the curse is. It's some kind of curse. My guess is, I don't know where it came from. Maybe that would be interesting. Like, that's why I think the game might be expanded, where beyond what we can see is story elements like that. Well, where did this tar stuff come from? We have this big, large world we can see, but maybe there's more to it based on the tar thing. It reminds me of something Zelda-like, almost like a Zelda-like trope.
Yeah, but maybe Flood's hiding somewhere and use that to spray the goop away.
Oh God!
Then it'd be the ultimate.
That would be horror.
Bowser Jr. had the paintbrush, right? Isn't that what he was using, or am I wrong?
Yeah,
he had a paintbrush.
So to be fair, it's very very much that where
it has a lot of sunshine elements.
Yeah,
already
he's painted. But it's funny because actually that's how it is in Origami King 2. Is Bowser Jr. is always is asking Mario to help Bowser, and it's a lot of fun. And so that's why it's kind of like that. But because of the black tar, with the whole very Sunshine-esque, I'm guessing he's gonna somehow paint Bowser back to normal some way somehow. They're gonna do something like that,
Well, I was thinking of what's the stuff called in Breath of the Wild, the goo, the calamity. What is that stuff called?
The malice.
The malice, yeah.
Yeah, the malice. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of, like Malice in Breath of the Wild.
Afterwards, it depends. Again, like I'm always bringing like this shit into it. It depends on what you mean with darker. If you mean like this gritty-like kind of shit, like I don't see Nintendo do that stuff. But I always say I consider Galaxy a darker Mario game just for the Solitude aspect and shit. It is kind of darker, so I can definitely see them experiment with darker shit. But you're not getting fucking fatalities in Mario, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, my thing with the darker thing, when Mario has always had like a darker edge to it, especially when you get to like World 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of like, I used to be afraid as a kid of World 8 from Mario 3.
Oh yeah.
Like it was frightening.
You're like
you go
crackling.
Yeah, you go all these levels and it was scary. Like even like the the level design, the layout, what do you call it? The world map of it was scary. It had like, little torches and stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to it. When I got to that next time I played it, I wasn't looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and even true. Like Mario World, the World 8 for
well, that's the one I was thinking
creepy,
of that had like the the music. And then wasn't it 3 changes. where you couldn't even see the levels? It was all dark.
Yeah, you couldn't even see. Yeah.
And, yeah, that's the thing is like I think it's just more, it's more like almost badass in a way, not really more dark.
Yeah, it's definitely like in
I don't know if
3D World. When you get to the second version, you're like, oh my god, this is so fucking cool. Like people who haven't played that game, we're gonna pick it up. Some of us have already admitted we're gonna what do you call it?
Chill.
Well, we're gonna download it. We're admitting to
download it off the
what's that
off the back of a truck.
Not
onto our PCs.
You shared that message, and it was like, so you're admitting you're going to. Let's see, where did it say that? That was funny. That made me laugh. I don't know. It's gone, but
it's in our. Is it
I'm
that
looking.
far back?
I don't. Yeah, because.
Yeah.
Admitted to pirating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To pirating.
I said I'm playing Bowser's Fury no matter what. It's just whether or not I'm buying it is going to be the question.
Yeah.
And
Nintendo's, my point was Nintendo's gotten double, triple times the money from me on certain things.
Yeah, they'll
be all right.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
Right.
But 3D World's Bowser level, I don't know what one it's called. I want to say it was that World 8 or World 7? That was just like, when you saw it and it had like the carnival and shit, you're just like, holy shit, like this is fucking badass. Like Bowser's having fun. Like,
oh yeah, that was cool.
It wasn't
the music.
Yeah, because it starts off, it's different music. So you go to this more lighthearted music. You think that's the last world if you're playing this for the first time, and then you come up here and it's like fucking, my mind was blown, man. It's on.
It was amazing.
Nintendo probably flagged this. So. Look at this.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's some good shit right there.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the this was one of the first really wow Nintendo games in HD that we got to play. You know, we saw Mario Kart 8 and stuff in trailers and stuff. And that moment right there was just like, holy shit, this is what Nintendo's can do in HD. Like that, I remember that specifically. But, all right, let's see here.
Yeah, that fucking intro, that is pretty damn insane. That looks great.
Thoughts on new Pokemon Snap? Do you think it would be worth $60? The first game took 4 to 5 hours to complete. Well, I can't answer that subjectively. Objectively, I should say. Because I don't think any Pokemon game I see doesn't look like it's worth $60. But
damn,
it looks, is that actual in-game visuals? Is that cutscene visuals? It looks really good. I don't know. I didn't play Snap, obviously. I don't know if it'd be something I'd be into. I mean, I like taking photographs in games, but that's a side thing. And if there's fun gameplay to be had, that's just a little side thing I like to do.
I played Snap to death. I fucking love that game. And it is a short game. You have like a few levels and they're reasonably short, but it has a fuck ton of replayability, a fuckload of it. And I'm expecting that again. There's like certain things, like, because you're on an auto rail kind of, like a shooter, like a railgun kind of. So you have to like decide what you want to do. You can't do everything. So maybe this time you make this Pokemon evolve, you throw like a rock at this dude's face so he falls in something and something happens and shit. And you go through the levels again, but the core gameplay is just so addictive and it's so much fun that even if it's just as big as this game, it's worth the money and you can make it look better because you're on a rail, You don't have like an open world. Like it's like fixed events kind of in a certain way. And from what I've seen from the trailer alone, it's already worth $60 for me because it's just the replayability.
I agree, but I disagree with you, but I also agree. Pokemon Snap, the game concept itself is never going to be worth full price. It's just not. What made the first Pokemon Snap, at least for me, worth it was the fact that obviously the replayability, that's one thing. But even with that, when it breaks the fourth wall, when a game like that says, "Oh, we could do something else," and it broke the fourth wall, and it allowed me to take the photos I took in the game and make real world copies of them. So you can take your cartridge to Blockbuster and maybe even Walmart. They had kiosks set up. Nintendo did. You could, you plug your cartridge into that kiosk, and you can print out your photos onto, like, I still have my sticker album from back then, and you print out stickers basically, and you stick them into your photo album. That is like that's the kind of stuff that to me brings it up to being worth it, because it broke that that extra wall. It went that extra mile. Now, so for me, what would have done it, because right now it doesn't feel like it's worth it, but I mean, I love Pokemon Snap. But anyway, what could have put it there is something that would have been a no-brainer. The Miiverse integration would have been excellent, with stamps and all kinds of stuff. That would have been great, but obviously we're not getting that. And the next thing is, most people won't care about, but they put it in, Mario or Odyssey in weird ways, is 3D VR.
Yeah,
that's the other thing that would take it beyond what it is. I should be able to do that. I should be able to strap my stupid headset on, my stupid VR headset, look back and forth, and be able to look with my own eyes at this world.
That would be cool.
That to me was what would take it to the next level. And it's a no-brainer, but that's why it won't happen. Because they rather put VR in fucking Mario Odyssey in one level than to put it in this game, which makes way more sense. So
if that happens, I'll probably pick up the VR finally. Like, if that happens, I'll probably pick it up.
Now, for
you
me,
say the VR, but like you mean Labo, right? When you say that?
Yeah, the Labo
VR. Labo VR. Yeah, Labo VR.
But there's third-party ones too. I did a review for one, and it's really good. You don't have to hold it up to your head like that. You can just strap it on like a regular
What a
VR
dumb
headset.
idea that was.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So for me,
I'm gonna sit here like this playing, 3 hours of Ocarina or Breath of the Wild like this. You're gonna have the strongest arms.
yeah. Give me Jack, yo.
So for me, Pokemon Snap, it's a cool idea. Like I said, I do enjoy taking photographs and stuff in games. But what would take it for me would take it to the next level is you have the on-rail stuff that's more of a game, and then you just have, all right, here's these environments. Now you can creep around and try to get, good nature photos of these things without alerting them, and, sneaking through the grass or something and zooming, having to work towards getting a telescopic lens so you can take photos from far away, stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. I don't, they haven't officially confirmed it, but knowing them, they're going to stick very true to what the first game was and not really deviate. But we'll see what they do. You're just going to be able to post it to Twitter. Is there going to be a Switch Online app where it's a little more... what happened with the Smash one? Remember, you could post all your videos and stuff on the Smash app part of the Nintendo Online app, and it's like there was no way to good way to search. You couldn't even find your own freaking posts. It was retarded.
At least third parties anyway are doing away with letting you capture videos. A lot of people probably don't even notice it, but I noticed it in NBA 2K20 that you can't capture video or maybe even you can't even capture photos anymore. And I think they don't want that on Twitter because it's the worst version, and they don't want you representing it on Twitter.
Well, some games
the Switch version,
they don't have the resources left to do it. Like Hellblade, you can't record video; you can take screenshots. But Doom, they added the video function like a year later, which was crazy.
I'm gonna go back and see if it actually still uses it, because I feel like there's another game.
I wonder if Doom Eternal. The crazier part is that Doom Eternal actually runs better than Doom 2016 on Switch, and it's technically more demanding. Even though I think they scaled the visuals back even more. But anyway, Pokemon Snap.
Well,
anybody who's getting it day one?
Rob's been trying to say something.
Yeah, sorry, Rob. You gotta get better. You gotta be better connection or something because something's up.
No, I'm not trying to interrupt you. No, because I definitely will pick it up day one. Oh, well, we'll see. Yeah, probably. But the whole thing is also I love the idea of actually having a world that you could walk around and take photos in. Because for the Wii, there was this game that I had on GameFly, and I don't remember the name of it. I have to try to find it. It was like the Safari game that you'd be able to kind of walk around. It's like vague memory. Like I played it for like 30 minutes, and it's just somewhere in my mind. And I remember like you're able to take photos of specific animals like that, and you're able to just walk around. I'm sure it wasn't massive world. I don't know. I don't remember, but I have to find this now. But that would be awesome. What happened?
Real animals?
Real animals. Real life animals, dude.
It was
like
real
texture animals,
like monsters or some shit, or like actual real animals.
I'm talking about actual elephants, and you were like in in Africa, It was like Wii Safari Africa or something. I don't know. And that was it was pretty cool. And I think Pokemon Snap would be perfect for that.
He was 13 years old. He was 13 years old and he played it for 30 minutes. I mean, it's probably true.
No. Honestly, I was even younger. I must have been like 8 years. I must have been like 10 years old max. I'm being honest with you. Probably was like 10 years old.
You look it up and we'll go to the next question.
I'm trying to find it right now.
I do agree that it sounds like Snap though has more replay value than it's not.
Oh, was it Wild Earth?
Maybe. Let's see. I'll have to see footage of it.
Yeah, Wild Earth African Safari. Is that it?
Wait, let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
Or Jumbo Safari.
I have to see footage. Let me see. Let me look at footage. Let's see.
Wait, we got Africa? Oh no, that's PS3. I thought. Like what?
It was a Wii game, and I played it on GameFly for a little bit. It was like it was probably like 10, 11 years old. So let's see.
I'm sorry, this score is making me in tears. This game is super expensive to find today. The Africa game for PS3.
Oh yes, this is it. I believe. Hold on, let me put it in the chat. I believe this is it.
Right?
Share your screen.
Was I right? Was I
dope. Right? Share your screen. I could just put it in the chat, yo.
You could share it so then the audience can watch it.
Well, then you can click it, yo. Then you can click it.
I wanted to
share to click it.
You're the host, yo.
I want to see. I was curious what that would have looked like. So.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Well,
I don't care though. I don't want to see that trash.
What? All right, I'm sharing the screen.
If you don't share the screen, I'm not clicking the link.
Some 10-year-old kid liked when he was, only played it 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was amazing. Wild Earth. That's the.
Oh, I gotta hit watch stream.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
What the fuck?
It looks amazing.
You moving the camera with the Wii remote? Holy shit, that's like. The animation's not terrible, but those are some N64 fucking polygons. Holy shit, look at this plane. It's like flying at like sideways. Like, it's strafing.
Wii viewer.
Look at that.
Elephant dung heap.
Imagine that, but with Pokemon. That would be fucking dope.
That looks like garbage, man.
What? I
don't know. Some of those textures remind me of Sword and Shield. Hey, the animations are solid though.
Whoa, you see
the animations are really good.
Lines? That was really good.
Yeah. But these textures, man, that's like Hellblade in portable mode on Switch. Background texture. I'm not even kidding. It's like 360p or 240p.
Yeah, but you gotta the character.
The animations are really well done though. You gotta give them.
Those toy vehicles.
This would be Robert. You got to get this game and do a fucking stream it. Look at now, it's got Dance Dance Revolution.
I'm so getting this game now. Thanks, Robert.
Now you can play as a frog. It looks like.
Yeah, I definitely have to buy this. Sure. I have to relive
What
my
was
memories.
that option? Was that a 60 frames per second option? What was that 60 on
Oh
screen?
my
Go back.
god, you ain't lying. N64 all day.
Oh wait, let me see.
No, go back.
Windows
In the
check.
in-game, the in-game option had a
Was it a little
right
bit-
here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No,
60 seconds. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh,
What was that Rockstar game on N64 with the animals?
The green
That's cool.
like
This looks like a cool
creatures.
game.
Like
I
a
got
puzzle game, puzzle platformer.
Oh, they had a puzzle platformer. I thought they made one that was like a shooter and like third person thing with some weird bug alien things.
bro. This
Yeah,
game
it was a mascot-ish, not technically not a platform.
What the hell is
but
this,
like,
Robert?
What
What the hell? Oh, it's a show. I was like, what the fuck? All right, you can end.
Wait, how do I?
I don't know how
This is
to end
hilarious.
this, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay, there you go. I got it.
Yeah, the animation is like great.
That's crazy.
That's I have to buy this game now. Actually, while
They
they're
should make a port of that in HD.
Look
Yeah.
at
The
the price.
reason why the
not a lot of people know about
What's
this
the
game. How
reviews? What's the reviews?
Yeah.
Why is there not a Switch version? All right, let's see.
Retro was saying something.
I was just gonna say the reason why it's so good in Pokemon Snap, why I don't want this, is because Pokemon Snap is super arcadey. If you can walk around like this, you might as well fucking go outside.
That could be a second game mode.
Hey, hold on. That doesn't make any sense what you just said. Go outside. Where the fuck are the Pokemon outside?
No, I mean if you want that, like your thing, you might as well go outside.
He don't want a walking simulator in his Pokemon Snap.
It's a $5 game on eBay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy it right now, yo.
Is there a
No, I just bought mine.
Is there a PS3 version?
Which
or,
one?
Or a 360 version? Probably not.
Let's see.
Wild Earth African Safari. We're all buying it now, yo. Hell yeah,
I ain't
boy.
buying that shit.
Excuse me,
If I see it on the flea market, I'll pick it up.
dude. I hope it ends up being.
Yeah, no 360.
Copy is $10. Come on, that is amazing, yo. Holy shit.
All right, let's move on.
That's hilarious.
All right, this is a good
I'm so-
question from
So-
Deku Tree here. What do you think Nintendo should do to keep the Switch alive and popular in the upcoming years? Revisions, revisions and like
In games.
Games?
new games. Because
Sports.
it doesn't matter, what I've said about 2020 Nintendo's output. I still got like 60 hours in fucking Hyrule Warriors, and yeah, it's not the best looking visuals and stuff, but it's a fun as hell game, and I can play that right after playing Immortals, which is a gorgeous game, high res, HDR, all that, and I just go straight to fucking Hyrule Warriors and have a blast. So I mean, great games, and a little more of them I think would help, but some revisions, fix some stuff, and listen to the community a little bit. Just forget about the split Joy-Con bullshit. Just put a D-pad on there and, make them a little more ergonomic. They got to do something. I just can't imagine this base model Switch 4 years from now still selling 20 million a year. I mean, I guess I could be wrong. As a handheld, it could still sell, but
It means we're going 4 years without any updates, so
maybe in 4 years you'll be able to send a message to a friend, but it'll only be like 10 characters you can only send. And then in what ways would a clamshell design like the Nintendo DS 3DS benefit the Switch? I don't think you could do that without. It'd be huge. I don't see how you could do a clamshell with the Switch.
I don't see the point of it, really.
Yeah, what's the point?
But Dave97, this is the last question. Do you think we'll ever get another new 2D top-down Zelda game? Link Between Worlds was in 2013. Man, it's already been fucking 7 years and 2 months. I would like one because Link Between Worlds was amazing. And they could do like, I don't know that I want it to look like Link's Awakening exactly, but they could do a cool art style in that style Zelda game, and I think they should. I don't know if they will though.
Link's Awakening definitely showed that they can make a great current gen console top-down Zelda. I think I said it in my video that I uploaded where I played Link's Awakening for the first time, the Switch game. I would love those 2D sections. I want them to fucking do a 2D one, But that I don't see happening and shit. But the top down, they can definitely do that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. I was too busy buying Wild Earth.
You think we'll get another Link Between Worlds, Link's Awakening style Zelda game, for the Switch?
Oh,
like a new one.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't need it. It's fine if you do it, but
Well, you clocked it. You can't even love Zelda anymore. What the fuck is this?
I still love Zelda, but I don't love Zelda games I already played. I mean,
no, like a new one. He meant like a new version that played like those, but a brand new game.
Oh, I thought you meant like remake another one that plays like.
No, like a brand new game in that style. You think they will?
I don't think they will.
Top down, just top down. If they will do top down again. That's just the question.
I don't think they will. Maybe at some point, but I don't think you'll see it on the Switch.
Well, they'd like to have these Zelda games out every year now. So I mean, next year, maybe they'll have something. But
true.
All right.
I'd like them to remake Zelda 2. That'd be great.
Revamp it, reboot it, do something.
Yeah, completely redo it. Yeah.
And Zelda 2, like I know Retro was talking about. I think that would be fucking awesome.
I didn't have the patience for that fucking those loose controls and those.
Well, think about it.
Enemy fights,
random battles.
Those enemy fights were just so brutal. If you made one mistake, it's like fuck.
Like a remake of Phantom Hourglass in HD. Hell yeah.
The biggest problem is that the audio reminded me of like Ninja Turtles, the first one, on NES, which I fucking hate that game.
That was one of the. I didn't own a ton of NES games because my grandpa bought us for the household. It wasn't officially mine, but I had that fucking NES game. I didn't do my research. I thought it was going to be the arcade game or something.
Yeah,
and that was some fucking trash. Like that was one.
I like that game.
It was one of the worst games.
It's so bad.
Double Dragon 3 was about the same though. It was trash too. I couldn't get.
And that's why I'm so my mind is blown, Juice, that you don't watch Angry Video Game. That's one of his best episodes. Is when he does Ninja Turtles for NES.
I watched a video of breaking that game down. I don't know who did it. It was interesting because it was like Konami was just making some other game and like let's make it a Turtles game. And
you gotta watch AVGN. You gotta watch it.
You should send me a link to that.
I will.
But it's crazy because it's like I love the Turtles. I was obsessed 5th grade, just absolutely obsessed. And that game comes out, and I'm just like, oh, I want that game. And I don't think I ever got past the 2nd level, and I never, maybe the 3rd level, and that's it. I just had to accept it. I tried and tried and tried. I just couldn't do it, and I just gave up.
Do you have a similar? I have a similar story, same feeling with that. That I had with Ghostbusters for NES, which is also fucking disappointing.
I think I rented
trash.
that. I never owned it.
I was so pissed about that game.
You guys got screwed on Ghostbusters. We in Europe got an amazing Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you guys got the good Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I remember trying to love that fucking Jurassic Park game too on the Super NES. I rented it like 3 different times.
Oh.
And I wanted to love it. And then they put Wolfenstein sections in it, and with no way to with a D-pad and 4 face buttons, it was retarded.
Awful.
They put that shit on every NES game. Like fucking even Festus Quest had that shit. Like all these fucking
Festus Quest.
My buddy had a Genesis, and he had Jurassic Park. And it looked fucking amazing.
That's the Jurassic.
It was still
Park
hard as fuck,
the Genesis
though.
one.
It was hard. It looked good though.
I beat it back in the day. I probably could beat it.
But
and once you beat it, you can. I don't know if you have to wait till you beat it, but then you could play as a raptor and shit.
Yeah, we got to the raptor part. That was pretty tough because there's some jump. You couldn't quite tell what platforms were ones you could land on, and you just fall to your death.
Confusing.
But so I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The arcade game is probably my all-time favorite arcade game. They had it at a corner store, like a block from my grandma's house, and me and my cousin would just spend hours playing through it. And then finally hit the NES, and it wasn't the same. I mean, it was the basic idea of the game, but it didn't. The visuals were so scaled back, and I don't even know if you could play four. I didn't have a way to play 4-player on the NES. I don't even know if that was an option back then.
No, only 2.
It didn't have it had the basic idea, but it lost the soul that made that special. But I still
the visuals.
Yeah, we still played through it, beat it, and had fun. And I was just thinking about that game. Was it Sunday night or Saturday night? I think it was Saturday night. I seen Just Jess was streaming the Scott Pilgrim game that Robert has been talking about everybody playing. So I was like, I'll check it out because I love the movie, and it looks great. Like I love the like that's a 360 game. The art style still holds up, and it looks fun. And they were like going through. I don't know if that's more than 2-player or not. It was 2-player, and I'm like, damn, this gives me nostalgia for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if it was called the arcade game, what it was called in the arcade.
Yeah, it was called the arcade. Well, it was just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the NES version said arcade.
The NES version. Right.
And I'm like, holy shit! I just had instantly transported back to in that corner store playing that game, and I was like, man, that does look fun. Even though they were struggling a little bit with 2 players. I was like, damn, it's got that Scott Pilgrim charm, and it's got that
4 players.
it just gave me that nostalgia. So yeah, I did look it up. It's not on Steam, but I don't know if that's on Uplay or on Epic Store. It's a Ubisoft published, so I don't know. I went to like look it up, and it's like took me to Ubisoft's page to like go further if I wanted to buy it or whatever. And I was like, that sucks. So, but I'd consider getting it on the Switch, except for I'm really reluctant to buy digital games.
Well, get a physical copy. It's still out there.
Oh, that's true. There is physical. I'd have to
and give you an excuse to
get the online. So that one time we'll play it.
24
time would be a whole game we play. Maybe if you pick up Rise, we all play Monster Hunter Rise.
Terrell's linking some. Oh, he linked the Ninja Turtles video. Yep, that's it. That's that game. I never got to this screen. I don't even recognize it. I never got, like I said, like the second level was about all I got through. But yeah. So Scott Pilgrim, I know there was some like limited edition set and stuff. I was not aware of that game back when it came out, and I guess it was unavailable and there was nowhere to play it, like to buy it and play it, if I'm remembering.
Yeah.
And then it just comes out. Ubisoft picked it up or whatever. Looks pretty cool, so I wouldn't mind checking it out. Next thing, I guess we can talk about the Resident Evil presentation. They showed Village. They showed
presentation.
They showed a Netflix animated movie, which I didn't know about. I'm sure it's been announced before, I'm guessing. They didn't talk about the movie that's coming out. Then
surprising.
What was the other thing? There was 3 things. There was the
Yeah,
online that comes with Village, and I feel like there was one other thing, but maybe not. There was the demo for PS5 only. I'm sure that'll be out on regular other consoles, I have a feeling, pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I'm actually I didn't love 7. I liked the second half better than the first half. And I haven't tried replaying.
Once you get away from the family and shit.
Yeah, the family, that stuff just annoyed me. It just felt like it felt like they were trying to do like what that PT game, the demo thing was. That's supposed to be like Silent Hill. And then like the what's the one where you have the camera you look through constantly? Outlast. And it's just like, it didn't feel like Resident Evil to me, but once you get outside, it felt a little bit more Resident Evil. And I guess
somebody was in love with 80s horror movies when they made that section.
Yeah, it's so annoying because you can't even hurt them. They just don't react to anything you do. It's so stupid. But Village actually looks pretty good. I mean, I'm intrigued by it. I like that they have this separate thing going on, and they did the remake, so you get a touch of the old games.
And that tall lady is thick, yo.
Oh yeah. I don't know if she's just tall or like they have small doorways in that house, because she's
Well,
like
she's
ducking.
way taller than the other chicks.
I think she's really tall. Yeah, that's what it is. She's
Yeah.
like huge. Although I prefer the other one.
Robert
Oh,
get
the other-
lost. Robert get lost in there.
Nah. I prefer the other one with the necklace thing.
Robert's about as tall as her torso. The tall one.
Oh man, if we're being honest, it's probably like the knee.
No, I meant her torso. That's how tall you are. Not from the ground to her torso, but just her torso.
That's fucked up.
Cause she looks like she's like 9 feet, if that. I just thought it was like a short door. Yeah, I knew Terrell. I don't know if I said that anyway, but I thought of Terrell when I saw her.
I'm thinking Lily.
Same thing, Terrell. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I can see
tall,
Terrell.
Oh, there he is. Tall vampire waifu.
Yes, yeah, I could tell. I could see Terrell getting in that.
Tall mommy vampire. What the
hell? It's so weird though that they throw Chris Redfield in there, and that's like the only tie-in. Like, what does he have to do with any of this? Like, it's weird. Yeah, we knew you'd been here because you did post that. That shared that link, but I don't know. I'm tempted at from what I've seen already just to like consider that a potential day one.
I gotta get it on PS5 though. Oh,
you don't have to, but
I played the demo, yo. I did play the demo. I mean, it really is just a visual.
It's just a visual demonstration.
Yeah, there's really nothing that goes on in it. I know some people are like, oh man, it made me so excited, but admittedly, I mean, literally nothing happens in the demo. I mean, nothing. You see the tall mommy come out of nowhere, but other than that, like that's it.
You can't go approach her.
No, well, she just grabs you, and then she like goes like that, and then I'm like, wait, I like the flying bug chick. Where's she at? Where'd she go? But the thing is with her, she reminds me of in Resident Evil 7 they had the also Margaret or whatever.
Yeah, they had another bug.
It was like a bug kind of thing, and that was annoying as shit. I couldn't stand it. That shit was so annoying. But like, to be fair, what are they just reusing another type of thing where it's like, all right, it's another bug lady, but she's attractive, you know?
Isn't there like 3 of them? 3 different?
It's like 3
daughters.
of them or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I figure by May I should have at least the Series X or PS5, one or the other by then, I would think. So I'll probably just pick it up.
But it's coming to current gen too, so.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. I forgot about that.
I mean, and Resident Evil 7 still looks good, so it's not like it's gonna be some downgrade or anything. But
it's not like it's gonna be like Cyberpunk or some shit, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, it looked good, like I mean, visually, but I just feel like you look at the game, you're like, yeah, I mean, technically, of course, this could be done on PS4 and Xbox One. I feel like they can't be like, come on, totally could. Like,
I wish they would stop doing that shit because that shit is holding back the generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, if they could get more systems out there, then they could have 10 million fucking PS5s by May. But I don't know
what's the holdup.
Production is the holdup.
I'm gonna get a Series X in the summer, probably in another like 4 or 5 months. I'll probably pick one up.
Even if
you already got a P5, right?
No, I know, but by then it's gonna be easy to pick up. Let's be for real here.
I'm just thinking I was like, I'm not super excited for the medium or whatever, but when they first showed it, that was one of the games that looked more intriguing. Gameplay on it, it might enjoy it, but if I was just like, man, I wish I had a Series X, but then I see, it's on Game Pass for PC, which I have until the end of March, and it comes out, the end of this week?
In
Friday?
a few days. Yeah, in a few days.
3 days? And I'm like,
might
as well just play it on there,
Exactly.
It's like,
Juice likes his conspiracy theories and shit. We're gonna go into like the Xbox conspiracy theory, but I have one for PlayStation. You see, I think the reason why we're not getting a lot of new PlayStations is because when there was a battle between Xbox and PlayStation and nobody wanted to release the price, because they were afraid they were going to downplay it and shit. And then PlayStation in the end was like, fuck, now we can't sell it as expensive as we want to. So instead of like releasing all the PS5s, they're actually the one putting them on the internet for like $1,000 and shit to get the money out of it.
Yeah, it's not
that
scalpers.
Would be pretty
it's
awesome.
not bots. It's just Sony.
That would be pretty awesome.
That would be
I'm not
scandalous.
gonna lie.
That'd be scandalous if fucking came true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
honestly,
also that's the thing though. Like what you just said, Juice, is what I keep saying is like, again, like after the Series X, if everything's on PC, you're still losing out on some customers, and I find it surprising. I think in the end of the day they don't care because they're still getting money off of the game. I guess that's what they're saying.
and the nice thing is, honestly, even if I started on PC, find a Series X, and who knows, April, March, whatever, and pick one up, I can just continue where I was. Like it's not like it's a different version of the game. It's the same save files and everything. So it's like I don't need it, but if I picked one up, so I can have it upstairs on my good TV and not have to be down on the computer all the time. That's there. Like that's a nice thing that they do with that cross-play, cross-save thing for all their games, and so it does devalue it a bit, at least the drive. But if there was like, even if I could play it on PC, if there was like just absolute must-have game coming, like I probably would have tried a lot harder to get a pre-order.
What would be a must-have game for Microsoft?
I'm trying to think. Well, not just Microsoft, but studios they own.
Oh, okay.
Like.
Well, I mean, but it's
let's say they had Let's say Hellblade 2 had been in development for years, and that was going to be out in like March or something. I'd be like, yeah, I can play it on my PC, but that's a game. I would do a little more effort to have found one. I mean, I did try launch day, and I missed it by one person. I don't know.
That is true.
I don't know how much earlier he got there than me, but I was one person away from having one at launch, and then I would have never, thrown money into my PC just to make it look different. Put it in a different case with some lights. I would have never done that shit. So things happen. I planned on just keeping the PC the way it was and getting a Series X, and then that wasn't looking like it. I tried to get a PS5 and it didn't work out. And then my graphics card took a poop, so I had to buy one. And the one I bought for $280 is now going for $400, and it's been a month. So
what the hell? Because
the Bitcoin went nuts. So everybody's in their fucking brothers trying to find one. And the Radeon cards are the best for mining, especially this card and I think the Radeon 7. People are just paying ridiculous price because they could make so much money off them. And so the regular person, like someone like Clocked It, he just needs one to do some gaming on. He doesn't want anything high end, but he ain't gonna find shit because he's gonna pay double what it's actually worth, or if not more. Because this Vega 64 was probably a $200 card 6 months ago, and now it's going for $400 used. So it's like,
crazy.
I mean, I'm not gonna sell it, but if I had to, I'm not stuck with it. Like if I found a new card for MSRP, I could almost pay for the new card, the 3070 I'd want for $500. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know why people, and I saw a picture of somebody had, I think it was the 3090 or the 3080. I think it was the 3080. It's like a $700-800 card, and it's like the hardest card to find. Everybody wants it. And it was a photo, and I didn't count them up, but it looked like about 50 of them in a row. And all these wires, somebody was doing it for their mining rig. They had like 50 GPUs that are $800 GPUs sitting there. They like cut out in like metal sheets or whatever, and they cut out for mounting. So they had them all mounted in like rows of 10. And then all the cables going to it, and they're just doing it for Bitcoin mining, which I don't even understand. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Bitcoin mining.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Sounds like fantasy stuff. I honestly think.
You
want to talk about conspiracy theories? Here's my conspiracy theory about Bitcoin mining. Everybody hooks up all this GPU power, all their computers 24 hours a day running, all hooked together, all doing the same thing. I just feel like somebody put this together. Yeah, you're making money off it, but they're using all that computing power for something. I don't know if it's for AI or Korea. Somebody's using this computing power for something, and people think they're mining for Bitcoins, but I feel like somebody's using
like powering giant Mexican.
They're using it for hacking shit or something. I don't know. That they're making some supercomputer that's all networked together. That's my theory. I don't know. I just don't understand how Bitcoin is even a thing. But
that's the weirdest shit because it's nothing. It's nothing that even exists.
You don't mine like
just made it up. It's there.
You're mining for it. No, there's no mining for it. Like that doesn't make any sense. It's not buried in the internet somewhere hidden.
No, I know. I don't understand the whole mining part. I don't get the whole mining.
That's why I think it's just they're using everyone's connected to this, to wherever, and somebody's utilizing this processing power somehow. That's what I think.
It's a conspiracy.
So anyway,
setting y'all up.
I think we should get to the Xbox Live Gold thing and Microsoft's situation.
Talk about Microsoft.
I posted. It was actually a reply to Red Knight, his post about it, and I had a theory. But let's just go over I'm sure everybody's heard about it, but all of a sudden I start seeing tweets, and it was like, Fortnite on PS4, $0. Fortnite on Switch, $0. On Steam, $0. On Epic Store, $0. To play on Xbox, $120 per year. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I saw it for somebody did it from Rocket League. Somebody did it for whatever, another free Warframe.
Warframe.
And then I saw somebody posting like, really, you're gonna 6 months is now $59.99, and I was just like, what the hell? Like my instant thought was, well, why would you ever get that versus just Game Pass? And then it turns out it was only for new customers who didn't already have Live with like auto renewal. Your price wasn't going to go up if you're doing auto renewal. It's just for people who sign up for Xbox Live for the first time. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you punish your new customer who just bought a Series X and make them pay $60 for 6 months? There wasn't even a year option. I couldn't understand it. I said it on my Juice Opinions. I was like, this makes no sense other than just to try to really make Game Pass Ultimate the only logical choice. I don't understand it. Apparently they had retailers. They had cards already made up, shipped to retailers for the new price. I didn't confirm that, so I guess if that's not true, someone correct me, but I did see somebody say, I think that was Red Knight too, he said that stores already had the new price and card, the little cards you buy that hang up, wherever at retailers. So I don't know. What the hell do you guys think what were they thinking with that? Like,
I have no clue. Like, how the fuck, like, what did you expect? Like, I always say the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, it's like, what do you think was gonna happen? but it's honestly like, dude, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, really, you go from 60 to 120?
But it's only for new customers. Like,
it's only for new customers.
No sense.
But so what happens if you technically it's on auto renew? If you cancel it eventually, then go back with that.
Yeah, then the 12 months is gone. Yeah.
I thought I saw that the auto renewal, once it renewed, it went to the new price.
No, it would still be your 60 a year. It would still be 60 a year. But the thing is, like, I'm sure a lot of people, eventually you cancel, you come back eventually, then what? It's 120 all of a sudden. It's like, wait, what happened? And especially because it's like, this doesn't include Game Pass, right? It wasn't going to include it. It was just gonna have gold, I guess.
Yeah, it was just gold, is what it sounded like.
But then so Ultimate also has gold. So they're just trying to try to say, hey, give the extra, what was it, maybe $30 a year, and then you do Ultimate. It's like, it just, and then I see some people saying, oh well, they got the with the whole free games, it really helps you out. Oh, shut the fuck. The free games, $120. Come on, man. I'm so tired of that whole PS Plus and NES fucking online. Like, the free shit, like, they're not free. You're paying for it. You're literally paying for it.
You don't keep them shits if you cancel your subscription.
And what sucks is they used to. I don't know if you remember, but when they first did games with gold, you were actually able to keep them.
Yeah,
you actually did.
I still have some games with gold games that I could keep, but
like,
not anymore.
These guys are just getting free games and then stopping it.
Yeah.
And notice. So you could technically just keep getting. Oh, I like these games. Let me buy $5. Boom, you buy those games for $5. You know.
Right.
I don't know. It's very strange. I don't know how they didn't think there was going to be backlash, and of course, or maybe they did think. I think maybe they did.
That's what I'm. That's my thought, because it made zero sense to me. I'm like, this has to be some kind of marketing ploy or something, because this makes no sense. Why would they do this? But the other thing, like, because they obviously retracted it, which I don't think they were ever going to implement this in the first place. Because, like I said, I feel like this is all a ploy. But the good thing that isn't, I guess, not part of the ploy, something they've been working on for a while, I don't know why it wasn't a thing from day one, is that they're going to unlock the fucking free games, the free-to-play games from the service. So, yeah, that's like, that bothers me, because like my kids, they want to play Fortnite and they want to play Roblox. That's one of the big ones they play, and they want me to play with them. And I refuse to play on a fucking tablet and try to do platforming on a fucking tablet screen. So I'm like, all right, I'll play on my Xbox. And, I don't have Game Pass. I don't have the service anymore. So I can't play this fucking free to play game on Xbox that my kids want to play with me. So that's good. That's a good thing. That's a long time coming.
Yeah. And it's
like I said, I think the rest was a ploy.
Why was the free-to-play games locked behind gold anyway?
Netflix and all kinds of shit like
used to be, yeah. But I mean, I was surprised because how pro-consumer Microsoft, had been and getting credit for. And when I downloaded, I got Rocket League went free-to-play. I was like, well, I'll download it on the Xbox, and I'll just play every once in a while. I might just want to play on the TV or something, and I go to find a match and it takes me to the gold screen, the store to buy, and I was like, all right, something's wrong. So I restarted my system and went back in, and it's like, did it again. And so I said something I think it was on Discord, and someone was like, yo, it's always been that way. I'm like, are you kidding me? So before the reversal, one of the things just to elaborate, when Game Pass Ultimate first got announced, my reaction was, well, they just added Game Pass and Gold together. It's no deal at the time. They've added stuff to the Ultimate now where you can do the PC version. PC Game Pass comes with it, so they've added value, but initially it's $10 for Game Pass. $60 divided by 12 months is $5, so it was $15. I was like, it was just Game Pass and Gold combined, like at that time. And just so when I saw that for 6 months they were doing $60, I'm like, well, they're just trying to make the value proposition of Ultimate appear to be better, without actually, I mean, they've made it better for sure, but you're looking at your options. You're looking at $120 a year for just to play online, or $180 you can play online plus play all these games on PC and Xbox. To me, as somebody who's seen firsthand executives make stupid decisions without any thought to like the actual customer. So every time I see something like this, I just immediately get transported into some boardroom with these idiots in suits, making six figures, coming up. Well, how can we make Game Pass Ultimate? How can we add to the value? Well, let's just make we'll just make Gold, $120 a year now. Like that's what I could see happening. And maybe it was more devious than that. Maybe it wasn't. But then they come back, and in 12 hours, nope, we've changed our mind. We're listening to you, and not only that, we're gonna make it so free-to-play games are not behind a paywall. Look for that in the coming months. So that's months out. So that tell me, I'd be curious to wonder if they even thought that was something they wanted to do, because why would it take months unless you just decided that you were going to do that?
Yeah,
well, I can see where it would take months, because I'm sure it's integrated into the software. So
but I'm wondering, did they
issues?
Have they been trying to do it? Have they been working on it, or have they just been waiting for it to finally blow up to where they had to? Because this shit's been, Rocket League's been free to play since what, September, October, November, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And like they made no moves towards doing anything like that. So it just felt it felt so how quickly it happened. It just felt so convenient to me where I actually had the thought that they never were going to charge that much, but they fully announced it knowing that they were going to come be the heroes to the gamers and say, no, we listen to you guys. We're dropping it. We're undoing that decision, and we're removing the free to pay paywall.
Yeah.
It worked when we launched the system.
To me, this reeks of like some hipster, just graduated college marketing, douche. If this is his viral idea, where it's just like, because think about it, like, did this hurt them in any way? No. Was the entire internet blowing up over this? Yeah. Everybody was talking about this fucking thing. Like, everybody. And it's like, man, that is the greatest free commercial of all time. Like, it's super advertising savvy to me, where it's like, okay, we're never going to charge this. This is not something we're going to do. But we're going to get everybody talking about it. And then we're going to come in and say, oh, we heard you, blah, blah, blah. We're not doing that. And then but all these people have been talking about freaking Xbox Live and Game Pass. And it's just like a nice little boom for everybody to get on. Like, because I didn't fully understand it when it was first talked about. I wasn't, because I was like, oh, I guess it's not a bad deal if you don't buy physical games and you only have an Xbox. When I looked into it more, I was like, oh no, this is not good. It's not a good idea. And then how quickly they turn around. No company turns around that quickly on any fucking thing. Like, that just does not happen.
That's kind of their MO now. I can't remember we know the Kinect thing they backtracked on. They released a $400 Xbox without.
But that took a while.
Yeah,
that took a while. That was
then
a couple years.
I feel like there was another one where I remember Phil Spencer saying, "Well, we heard you guys loud and clear." Well, then we recently had the Halo Infinite. They showed that with like confidence, like they had something to show, and then people are like, "No, this isn't acceptable." And they're, "Oh, well, we're delaying it. We're not going to put out a product that's not ready." I swear I can't think of the exact. I really feel like there was one other like major one where they had to roll back something they said they were going to do, and it's like
you're probably thinking of ugly, creepy Sonic from the movie.
that
we listen to you guys.
So, is it better or worse in your guys' mind that this was a plan to undo it and make and make themselves get free publicity and look like the hero in the end? Or is it worse that they actually thought that they could charge $60 for 6 months of just gold and still have free-to-play games locked behind the paywall? What's a worse scenario?
I don't even think it was necessarily like being the hero at the end. Because you're not being a hero for taking back a stupid fucking decision in my head.
But people were praising them. They were getting some praise.
People were praising them.
The thing is, like, of course, like, in the end, people will praise them. And who I blame for all of this? Fucking news tubers. Because if there's nothing to talk about, one person will talk about it, and everybody talks about it. So something like this has such a massive impact the second they said it. You have, like, thousands of fucking videos. So it's definitely like a whole marketing thing. You can't tell me that somebody at Xbox was actually like, okay, you know what? We're not selling in Japan. Nobody's buying Xbox. Everybody's buying Switches over our shit. We're not selling. Something's going wrong. We need new customers. How about instead of 60, we charge 120? Nobody tells me an actually intelligent man decided that this was an actual good idea. I think it's pure ploy just for the marketing thing. Like, there's no other way it makes sense.
What if they're just like I told you? I've company I work for. They come from manufacturing. They're big manufacturing. We're distribution. We have big competitive, major competitors. So we're like, well, you're not hitting your sales goals. Well, we'll just raise the prices 3% across the board, or 1.5%. 3 months later, we'll raise them another 1%. 3 months later, we'll raise another 2%. That's how they were thought they were going to hit sales goals. And guess what? People dropped like flies. Customers dropped like flies. I could see that same mindset being like, how can we make a little bit? How can we make some more money? We got all these Call of Duty players, 5-10 million Call of Duty players on Xbox. They don't play Game Pass. They don't use Game Pass. All they do is they buy Call of Duty and they renew their Xbox Live subscription every year. Are they going to stop playing Call of Duty because of $60 extra a year? Let's find out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did it, thinking, well, if people accept it, that's double the money.
But the problem with that is that they didn't give it time to see if people would be that way. The internet complains about every fucking thing. You can't go by what Twitter says.
Yeah, you can't change it in 12 hours. And
you can't go by what Twitter says to make a decision, a company decision, because you don't know if that's going to be the actual audience who's playing these fucking games. People complain about shit that touches them in no possible way whatsoever. shit that doesn't affect them at all. People complain about. So you can't trust the reaction from Twitter to decide, maybe we need to change this because people don't like it. So this reeks to me. It completely reeks to me of just like a marketing thing.
A PR stunt is what I call it.
Yeah, PR stunt. Yeah.
Even if you think like you juice, even if you take into account just all the Call of Duty players, like, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna play as 120? No fucking way. You're not telling me that Call of Duty players are so stupid that if you actually also charge double, they're not just gonna go to fucking PC or something. Call of Duty is not Xbox exclusive.
My brother-in-law just bought a Series X. He only plays Call of Duty every year. He would complain about it, but he ain't gonna stop playing Call of Duty. That's his one outlet in that's his one thing that he does. He's not gonna stop.
But then you can get a PlayStation 4.
He's not gonna buy a PlayStation just to pay $60 instead of $100. I mean, he's all in with Xbox. I think there was a possibility that they thought that the casuals like that, the 2Ks, the Maddens, they were just going to get away with it. But again, they did. If you're going to try it, you can't undo it in 12 hours because there's a chance that most of those people who would pay it and not even say anything would have just paid it. Like they don't care. Yeah, but the fact that they undid it so quickly, and then Phil Spencer had to come out and make a tweet saying that. I should find it. I mean, Terrell's not here. He's
you can do that when you only play 3 games a year.
Yeah. But he made it sound like they were just so it was so unexpected that there'd be this backlash or something. Like we made a bad decision. How did you make? Why did this bad decision get out? Why did you make this bad decision? I'm not giving you credit for undoing something really stupid. And like Active Gamer, I said, Nintendo didn't undo some of the stupid stuff, like the Switch Online come out and they didn't listen to fans and do anything. They didn't with the online system in general. They haven't done anything, so they don't listen at all. They just do, and then that's just it. But I can't give them credit for undoing something so ill-conceived. So
well, to me, at the end of the day, it's not even that big a deal. It doesn't affect me one way or the other, and I'm just like a good marketing stunt, I guess. I don't really care.
But I don't know. I find it weird. I think it's such a. To me, I think it's the worst marketing stunt. It's just not even a good one.
It probably.
I disagree.
You think? Because for me, the way I see it is these fuckers trying to make us pay double, and then they change it, and then you're just like. I'm not gonna forget that you almost made me pay double, and also for the fact that it's all right, well we're back to square one. Where's the games? I don't understand what happened. Nothing happened in my life. Nothing changed, at least for me.
That's how you feel. But most people, I guarantee, most people are like, oh, they listened.
They listened to us. They cared to what we say.
They listened to it exactly.
You want to hear what they had to say? I see on the so it says. So it says this was updated 1/22/2021. He says this is the by the Xbox Live Gold team. There's a team of that say this. It says,
they wanted a raise, is what they wanted. They wanted a bonus.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let me do this, yo. See, this is awesome now. I forgot. Let's
and then Phil Spencer put out a tweet too. Oh, I gotta hit the watch stream. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. It says, we messed up today, and you were right to let us know. Connecting and playing with friends is a vital part of gaming, and we failed to meet the expectations of players who count on it every day. As a result, we have decided to not change Xbox Live Gold pricing. We're turning this moment to turn into an opportunity to bring Xbox Live more in line with how we see the player at the center of their experience. For free-to-play games, you will no longer need an Xbox Live Gold membership to play those games on Xbox. We are working hard to deliver this change as soon as possible in the coming months. So, and then it says, it will stay at the price.
Yeah, because on PC, on Game Pass on PC, there wasn't a paywall. That's what, like, Gears 5, there's no paywall on the PC version of Game Pass, so it's like, even if you don't have Ultimate, if you just pay the $5 a month for PC Game Pass, there's no paywall. So it's like, a lot of people, I've heard, over the years or over the last year on Next Gen's podcast, they were speculating that Gold was going to be free. You can play with your friends online, no additional charge, but if you want to party up and do all that, then there's going to be a pay option. If you just want to play online and that's it, it was going to be free. So they went the complete opposite. They went the wrong way. They went from taking $60 off the price to adding, and then.
But the funniest thing is watching people who were defending it in the beginning turn around and say, "Oh man, Xbox is so consumer friendly." Wait! Why did you defended it? You thought it was fine, and then when they took it back, oh man, Microsoft is so consumer friendly. What?
Yeah, like what? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think it's terrible that they thought that was the way to go for Xbox. Xbox Live Gold being free. You got Game Pass if you want to play all these games, and maybe put the party system and everything behind, as part of that. But I've had a PlayStation 4 since, was it November 2016? So over 4 years. I've sent Robert messages on there with photos. I used to message T, I don't know if I got your new name yet. Retro, I've sent you a couple photo screenshots and sent a message. Terrell, I've sent a bunch of screenshots. Never paid a dime. I've never had PlayStation Plus, not even a trial or nothing. And that system feels fully online. There's like, under each game, I know the PS5 got rid of it, but there's like a whole community thing where I saw Robert was playing Metro Exodus before he let us know it was his backlog game. I saw he got a trophy and stuff like that. Never paid a dime for online. The Switch without online, it doesn't change much because there's not a lot of online stuff.
I was gonna say the Switch with online is
because I don't have the I didn't partake in the Switch Online this year, and it still got they added the logo for the online. I don't know if that's the apps how you play the games now. I don't know. But it keeps giving me the little green dot, like there's something new there. I click on it and it just takes me to the payment plans and stuff.
I got to pay more because Juice didn't want to jump back in. Thanks a lot, pal.
What about Scott Pilgrim? God damn it.
And it's just like that system doesn't feel different either way because there's nothing really added to when you have the online other than playing the games online. But PlayStation 5, I mean, and Xbox does the same thing. Got to give them credit. You can send messages without having gold. I don't know about the screenshot thing. I don't even know if there is an option to send a person an individual screenshot, but I share screenshots and videos all the time when I'm playing on there, and that stuff's not behind the paywall. So, it's just crazy that just to play online and just for party system, they thought that was worth, doubling the price for. And what Robert read there, that just re-cemented to me that that my theory. I just feel like no real evidence. I just feel it in my soul that this was some kind of plan, and maybe that makes. I have to agree. I was just gonna say maybe that makes no sense to some people, but to me, it doesn't make any sense if it's anything else than that.
I do have to agree with Robert in the sense that it is bad marketing if that's what it is. Let's not forget, Microsoft just came off like a horrible console launch that had no consoles to buy, that has no games on it, followed by Halo being delayed, looking like what T would say, dog shit. It doesn't look good. And then after that, you still don't get positive news. You get like the double price and $120. It's like, if this is marketing, wouldn't you, for example, if this would be good marketing, instead of 120, now if you don't turn it back to 60, you make it 0. Then you have good marketing.
Yeah.
You get something positive out of it. It's like Robert says, you're not getting anything. You're back at square one, at like behind a row of other Microsoft fuck ups still.
Yeah.
You don't understand. Marketing is just message, getting your message to a bunch of people. That's all it is. It doesn't go beyond that. A lot of people believe all publicity is good publicity, even bad publicity is good publicity. Because you know what? A lot of people who maybe weren't paying attention know that you have a service. They know you got a service that maybe they didn't know before. There's a lot of people that don't know Game Pass exists or live even. So that was, to me, that's the point. That was the point of this.
And it's just crazy though that they can have like these misfires, and they got a lot on the line. They had a rough. They sold 50 million Xbox Ones, but if you look at the game sales, the multi-plats, like there wasn't a whole lot comparative to PlayStation. I think it was like sometimes it was only a third of what the PS4 version sold and stuff, and they needed to do everything right. I feel like they got the hardware. It seems to be got that right, but they really needed to have everything right to have a chance. And stuff like this, in a few months, no one's gonna care. If you see a Series X in store, people been looking for them. Something you're gonna buy. You're not gonna be like, well, they tried to double Xbox Live. Fuck that. I ain't buying Xbox. But
it's like Microsoft is baffling to me. They have all this fucking money, all these resources, and they cannot seem to get out of their own way on a lot of shit. It's like, how do you botch the Xbox Series X launch? How do you botch that by not having your marquee game be good? I mean, that should have been in your number one priority over any fucking thing else, is to have Halo looking fucking amazing on the Series X. That should have been priority number one.
Yeah, they weren't even gonna have ray tracing for what? They said later this year.
Motherfuckers, you've been working on this shit for how long?
They showed what, like, 3 years ago? Long? They showed the new engine. They showed that little cinematic, and it's like,
what the fuck are you doing? I
gotta go back to my examples of the place I work. They bought this company and built a warehouse in Louisville, Kentucky, and they had a huge warehouse. They didn't ask any of us who, basically they were trying to mimic what we were doing in our little smaller, we're in a small part in Michigan, it's not a big main hub like Louisville is. They didn't ask a single person our opinion on or get any advice on setting it up. They just hired like 3 people off the street and said, here, set this huge warehouse up. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They invested millions of dollars. And it was just utter failure because you had nobody with any training. They set it up all ass backwards. It was a huge warehouse. They only had one area in the middle that had power, plugs where you could plug something in. So the printers and stuff had to be like all the way on the other side of like a 40,000 square foot warehouse. It was just poorly done. Yet the head ups were getting. Everything's going great, we're ready to go. So we started shipping them truckloads and truckloads of product, and they had like 3 people there to unload it. We had like 25 people sending it, and they had like 3-4 people to unload it. And it's just like they were told they were ready to go, and it was just an absolute disaster. So anytime I think of Halo Infinite, and I think it was Richard Rule Review Tech, who was the first report about some disgruntled employees left like feedback or like an exit interview, and they posted it, and it ended up online, and they were talking about all the mismanagement. It took like 2 weeks for if they submitted a fix or something, it took 2 weeks for that to get tested, and then they had all like, what do you call them? People you hire, just contractors. Half the people who were working on it were contract worker who didn't work for 343 and didn't have that that loyalty to them, and it sounded like just a clusterfuck. And it's like, and I'm sure they were reporting to old Phil though, oh man, everything's good, everything's great, it's looking good,
but it's like, motherfuckers, you stumble through Xbox One for fucking years, and you're doing smart things. You're buying companies and whatnot. You're setting this shit up. How the fuck do you come to a new generation with not one launch title? How the hell do you do that? Like, it just like they should have never made the Xbox One X. Just never fucking made. Take those resources, all that time they made, because Xbox One X did nothing for them. It almost did nothing for them as a company. They should have never made that fucking thing. They should have focused on the next fucking Xbox, the Series X. You could have called it the same thing or whatever. It wouldn't have been as confusing. Another reason.
Yeah.
Did not.
And the leap would have been huge.
And you could have came out a fucking year early. You could have came out last year, or not last year, but 2019 with fucking, I don't know, Gears of War and shit. Gears 5 with your new fucking console. That would have been fucking amazing. You could have had Sony's fucking scrambling right now. But I don't understand, with all these resources, how do you mess this shit up?
Sense.
They showed it off in 2019.
It makes too much sense.
They already had the design of the box in 2019. Right. The One X was a course correction. 4 years. It was 4 years after.
You still got those fucking Jaguar CPUs in that shit. That shit was pointless.
And what did the Xbox One X launch with? What did the Xbox One have? Yeah. The X have? Forza 7?
The X didn't have shit either for launch. Like, it didn't have, like, it was supposed to. It should have had another system that should have had Gears or whatever, but it didn't have shit. It didn't have shit either.
Where's Muhammad, man?
You launched your last two fucking consoles with no new game.
That would have been think of it. Actually, that's super true. You would have Gears, and then the very next year you'd have Ori and Flight Simulator, and it
would have been disgusting. You'd have been in so many good graces at this point. Yeah, but you're fucking mismanaging this shit big time.
Man,
I wonder how much money went into that Xbox One X.
I know, and nobody gives a shit about the Xbox One X. Nobody,
unless you happen to get one. I mean, it's a good system, but. Yeah, I wonder where.
But you're still running around. You're still running around with tablet CPUs and shit. Like,
oh man, that's so true. That is so true, yo.
They could have saved all that fucking time and money and resources.
You think the One X?
Made the new Xbox.
Do you think the One X was because they caught wind of the PS4 Pro, or do you think the PS4 Pro came because they caught wind of the Xbox One X? I guess we'll never know. Because Sony came out a year earlier. The Pro came out a year before the One X.
Yeah, I think the Pro is what pushed them to make the One X, and they should have just said, "Fuck it, we'll take the L on it, move on. We'll wait on the next console. We don't need to make this because it's not even a mid-gen refresh. It was a couple years ago. It wasn't even that long ago, and you're already coming out with a new console. It's just so stupid."
Yeah, it was 2017 when the One X came, and then 3 years later you got the Series X, and the leap between the One X and the Series X isn't that significant,
that crazy huge, right?
When you're talking multiplats and stuff, but the leap between the base Xbox and the fucking Series X it's the biggest leap of all of them. It's huge. It's a massive leap, and that could have been
that. You could have blew people's minds with that shit. It would completely blown people away.
Oh, you could have still done the Xbox One S. That's a 4K Blu-ray type. So you could have.
Yeah, you could have still done the S. That's fine.
S is all.
It's slimmer. It's slimmer.
The S was a good investment. I
wonder what the One X did in sales.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, that's so crazy because that actually would have been. Think about it, they wouldn't have to compete with the PS5 at all. Not even a little bit, and they would just be on their own, man.
Sony would have been scrambling to catch up with them.
Oh, fucking Trail's loving the Xbox hate.
It's not hate. I mean, I like Xbox.
It's just true.
I'm just trying to think practically.
Dude, I would love to see a universe like that because that that really would have been a huge difference.
You'd have had Sony on their heels, and their whole game plan might have changed.
Sony would have been able to get the PS5 out earlier. Like they had, I think they could have even delayed it till March. Honestly, based on some of the issues.
Man.
But I mean, it's not like the PS5 had.
No.
Demon's Souls remake.
I'm speaking specifically from an Xbox point of view. Like, what you had to deal with, how you stumbled. This would have been a good. I'm not saying like PS5 is so much better or anything like that either, because their launch isn't that great. But you're the ones who have the stigma.
Yeah,
you're the company with the stigma.
They need to do what Nintendo did.
Need to do right.
They came on. They were coming off their Wii U. It wasn't as bad, but
exactly. I was about to get to that. That's. They at least had the fucking killer app ready to go. You can say, well, there wasn't that many launch games, but goddamn it, they had the game you wanted to buy for that new system. Day one. So
the main thing with Nintendo is that they did do that with the Wii U, where they basically like a year before stopped, and they were like, "Fuck it, we have these 1 or 2 games like Star Fox and Paper Mario. I think let's just finish them, but we're stopping it and shit." Everything was going into the Switch. And you have maybe a few ports, but like you had all these like you said, these killer apps. The launch of the Switch was exactly what it should have been. Fucking amazing. And that's because at the end of the Wii U, they were like, let's just dump this shit. But instead of dumping the Xbox, then they were like, you know what? Let's release a new console first. Let's
keep dragging on this wound.
Yeah.
Like, no, cut that shit off, cut that limb off, and put a robot leg in that bitch and go.
Because what they think,
what? Because with Xbox, it's like it's obviously there's nothing to look down on it. It's so low, but when you think about it, like it stayed in that 40-something million for a long ass time.
It did.
Like I don't remember it moving out of there. It's still technically 49 point something. Like it's never moved away. And they should have done
the Switch
that.
like blew past that shit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because
they had a game plan, and that's what Xbox could have had if they done what they had to PlayStation.
They needed to, you know what? And it's easy to play, what do they call it, Monday morning quarterback. In hindsight, what did they really think?
It was a bad idea from the beginning. It was never a good idea.
What did they think? What would have it hurt to hold Gears 5 until 2020? With what did they think they were getting? By release, when did it come out? 2019 or like
2019. Yeah.
I mean,
that's my main point.
Are they trying to use it to sell Game Pass?
I guess.
What benefits did you get from dropping the series or the Xbox One X? Did it automatically? Oh my God, the sales went through the roof? No. There was no benefit because nobody even cared. Other than the hardcore of the hardcore.
Well, they were setting
Nobody
up.
Cared.
I think they were trying to set up that they were going to not ever be behind in the power again, and they wanted.
Well, do that with your next console, not the one you already lost with. I mean, you lost like what 2-3 to 1 in the motherfucker. Like, come on, move on.
Admittedly, like with the PS5, it's early on. The PS5 just has the way bigger buzz right now, and what is the benefit in launching right next to your competitor, like 2 weeks after? Like, what is the benefit of that?
It was
Let's
days
launch
apart.
a Wii U Plus.
They were days apart.
No, the Wii U is fine. Let's just launch a Wii U Plus in 2016, and we'll be all right. No, you cut that bitch off. You cut that raggedy ass leg off and put in a robot leg in, motherfucker, and you go.
I don't think Nintendo had the patience and the trust of the shareholders and everyone must have had the trust, like, hey, we're gonna hold Breath of the Wild, we're gonna hold this 3D Mario game, we got the Mario Kart team working on a new IP, Monolith Soft's game. Like they put out a few games in 2016. They didn't even they didn't need to. It wasn't going to make a difference for them. And they had the pieces lined up. They didn't have 2018 thought about. That was an afterthought. But they had 2017. Now, if maybe Microsoft, the company, put too much pressure on, but I'm saying, hold Gears 5, and they could have polished it. They could have added things. Hold that, and they thought Halo was coming, but still, they could have pushed Halo.
Think about it. People are talking about diminishing returns and whatnot, and imagine going from fucking 900p 30 frames to fucking 4K 60. Like that's a leap that a lot of people would have got behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like right away. And not going from, 900p to
1800p
1440p or 1800p like that, and the frame rate's barely better. That's not what you wanted to do. You wanted to shock people and say, hey, we're going to be the most powerful console, boom, that's out right now. And but Microsoft just didn't have the. Nintendo could do it because Nintendo had fucking Zelda, and Nintendo has Mario and shit. And
it wasn't even just that for Nintendo. Like the whole game plan was massive because think about the support now what you want, but they had Konami make a new Bomberman for the beginning and shit. Like Bethesda, they signed them on. There was massive support. There was
Mario
not
plus
just
Rabbids.
Nintendo, but even there was exactly. There was all that shit. The second people the launch of the Switch was just as perfect as a launch could fucking be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was perfectly set up. And you would think, again, somebody with such massive resources would be able to do something at least similar, if not exactly the same. You couldn't put together
at least
a plan.
Half as good.
Yeah,
you could have put the Series X out in March of 2020 or something.
When did Hellblade come out?
That was 2016 on PS4.
Was it that early?
Yeah, it was PS4 exclusive too.
Oh, the PS4 exclusive. That's right.
At the time. 2016, maybe 2017. Because, it
might have been 2017.
I know.
I think it's 2017.
They definitely got that new office with that Microsoft money. And dude's got a fancy ass, a new building, but he's got a fancy office. Like the head guy, he kind of, we talk about Neil Druckmann. And when I watch the Ninja Theory videos, I get that Neil Druckmann, was it Druckmann? Vibes from the Ninja Theory guy. He seems pretty full of himself. Very fancy office, really richy looking stuff on the walls. But it's we're not saying this because we want Microsoft. I hate to say this because I know there's a lot of fake Nintendo fans saying, well, I want Nintendo to be better like they were during the Super NES. But honestly, if the Series X comes out, you got Gears 5, then they didn't have to rush.
2019
Halo.
Series X 2019 Gears 5, Forza. What's the Forza?
Horizon 4.
Oh my God, 4K 60, fellas. There you go.
And then the promise of Halo Infinite. And let's see what else. They didn't have anything super amazing, but Ori. It would have been the first year would have been pretty good.
Coming. That would have been real nice. That would have been PR through the roof.
Again, Flight Simulator.
Different
genre.
$500. PS4 Pro's $400. For $100 more, you're
Battletoads.
Yeah, $100 more. You got your SSD. You got that still. You got that over. Man, they botched this shit.
And then because the main problem with not having, other than just an exciting game to play, there's nothing that showcases the extra power of the Series X. There's nothing out right now that says, yeah, this system is a decent step over the PS5. There's nothing out that says that.
And nothing in the Horizon either. That's the thing.
The Medium isn't doing that. I'm sorry. It doesn't. That's because that's doing the dual rendering thing. So that's like the Wii U gamepad rendering two things. So it limits what Star Fox could look like because they had to render two things at the same time.
Robert, did you say nothing on the horizon for Xbox? You mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna get Halo at the end of the year.
Well, technically, even that.
There's some other stuff in there, but it's a bunch of small stuff. There's nothing that's like, oh my gosh, that's coming now. Boom, a big game. So there's talk about there being surprises, but
don't expect anything
me now, motherfucker.
Don't expect
120 was a big surprise.
I would
you don't have time to wait for surprises. You got to tell people now why you need an Xbox right now.
I think it's going to be late 2022, midway 2023 before they start getting consistent games coming out.
That's a fail.
And it's I wish it, who knows what the Bethesda acquisition and, there's that one game, I don't know when it's coming out, that SteamWorld Dig guys,
Oh, that's right. That goo thing
The
or whatever.
space travel thing.
No, they got.
Where it's like a goo thing, right? They're like,
Yeah, it's like a 3D platform.
The gunk.
Gunk.
The gunk.
There you
That
go.
shit looks
I don't know if
amazing.
that's
I
this
like
year.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
But you know, it's just unfortunate, and just like with
Everwild is a game apparently. They don't know what it is.
Is
they
it a
don't
game?
know,
We don't
no,
know.
they don't even know what the gameplay is yet.
Dude, this is Rare. Rare fucking takes 2-3 years just to come up with their concept, and then they blow that shit up.
And it's like,
do.
what they showed us, is that like in engine or is that just BS CGI? Like, it looks gorgeous. I wonder if
I
it's,
think it's an engine. I think that'd be an engine.
I'm sure it's an engine, but is it a game yet? That's what I'm saying. Like,
how did they not learn? I don't know.
Does anybody remember 12 Tales Conquer 64 and what we finally got and how long it took?
You start with Nintendo's mindset. You start with the gameplay concept first, and then you build the game around it.
These dudes built a world, and they're like, "What the fuck are we doing in this world? Let's see. Well, we could do this."
Like,
you know. So.
It looks. I hope it turns out, because it looks amazing, like visually, the art direction. But
Xbox starts with the trailer, then they try to make the game look like the trailer, and then you get Halo.
But again, that's a new, maybe might be good game. You need established fucking franchises at your launch. At least one killer established franchise.
Because to say what you will about, we talk about remakes and remasters, but Demon Souls, that shit, from everything I've seen, that's a polished ass game, whether it's a remake or not. Like, I didn't see a bunch of...
and it's established franchise.
I didn't see a bunch of,
got excited about
glitches and stuff, and it visually demonstrates a leap over the previous generation. Like, yeah, it's not utilizing the full power with, ray tracing and all these new effects, but you see that game and you're like, wow. Like, if you watch the 60 frames per second, the highest quality, I think Digital Foundry's video or something, they have the best capture. And you're just like, that's a 60 frames per second game, looks that good at launch, like, holy shit. And Series X didn't have that. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Dirt 5.
A bunch of people who would never play fucking that game bought it because of how it looked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, the gunk is coming to the original Xbox One. I forgot about that. So technically, even that's like not probably.
It is coming to the original. Oh, fuck Christ.
Yeah. That's also, I don't know.
Yeah. Terrell's a good point. You couldn't even have fucking Forza ready. You put Forza out every goddamn year. How do you not?
And they didn't have one last year. Well, they didn't. Well, 29. Was it 2019? No, it was 2018.
Now 2 years you're not.
How do you not have a new Forza at least?
Yeah, Forza Horizon 4 was 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Because I got my Xbox in 2018.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
I just don't get it.
I know this. We're gonna get out of here in a second. I know this is unrelated, but in my Juice Opinions video, I mentioned that I was just talking a little bit about Nintendo and the state of the fans and stuff. I'm like, how come every time I'm talking about Nintendo's output as a game developer, the only rebuttals I see is just talking about the Switch library as a whole? Just look at all these games. Just play these games. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not saying there's not games to play on the Switch. I'm saying Nintendo is not putting out games. So somebody tried to call me out, which was funny because you must not know. Well, you have an Xbox? I was like, yeah. Well, you paid for that Xbox. Why aren't you holding them to the same standards as Nintendo? They haven't. What about their first party lineup? Like, well, first of all, I didn't pay for the Xbox. It was given to me as a gift, so you lost that argument right there. And I said, we've taken Microsoft to task many times for their lackluster output in the last couple of years, for sure, and their E3s and all that, for not having any true exclusives. Like, but I'm not an Xbox channel, so I'm not going to talk about Xbox over and over. But it's like, really, like, we bring this up every once in a while, and we take them to task for it. Like, we're not giving them a pass, but I just don't care as much because I didn't grow up a Xbox, fan like I did a Nintendo fan. So I thought it was a odd comparison and completely wrong anyway, because we do call out Xbox, but we're not a Nintendo pocket. I'm not a Nintendo channel, or I'm not an Xbox channel. So, I'm disappointed that my favorite company isn't delivering what I expect. And I'm not as disappointed about Microsoft, even though they're just as bad or worse. It's like, but it just doesn't
Definitely
bother
worse.
me.
That's for sure. That's
It's definitely worse. It's just not bothering me. It just doesn't bother me. Yeah, Psychonauts 2, like, is that actually that's not gonna move the needle much, I don't think either.
No. Nobody gives a shit about this is bullshit. Like, I love Psychonauts. Nobody else does. Nobody cares about no fucking Psychonauts.
Yeah. The only people that
Come on.
care about Psychonauts 2 are guys like Muhammad who need talking points for Xbox.
Did you play Psychonauts 1, Muhammad?
And it doesn't even look that good.
Did you play Fable 1, 2, and 3?
It's like, I love Psychonauts, but it's like they said, Psychonauts on Xbox. It's like fucking Medieval on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody actually cares.
Nobody cares.
If that to me is like adding Clubhouse games to brag up the Switch's library for 2020, bringing up Psychonauts 2 and Halo. If that's what you got for 2021 and the medium,
yeah,
like
Scorn,
that's not a good year.
Those are good games, but nobody cares about Scorn. Nobody cares about
what the hell is Scorn? Okay, Mohammed, what is Scorn?
Except for gamers like me. That I'm not enough. We're not enough.
What's Scorn? What is it though? Isn't that the one?
I think it's gonna be some hard shit.
Yeah, but what's the gameplay? Tell me. What is the gameplay?
I don't know.
I'm asking Mohammed.
Trailer.
Mohammed, what is the gameplay to Scorn? What do you do in that game?
Yeah, how does it go? How does it work? What's the perspective?
You might as well say Everwild because I think you know more about the potential of Everwild than Scorn. It's like
I think they actually added some gameplay for Scorn, but it's like
when I didn't see it.
Let me see.
Yeah, just to bring up, like, why don't you talk about Xbox? Well, look at my background. What about my background tells you that I'm going to sit here and complain about Xbox over and over and over?
Oh yeah, here it goes. 3 months ago, apparently they showed 13 minutes of gameplay.
Of what? Scorn?
Of Scorn, yo. Of Scorn.
I mean, we follow gaming news, and who knew that they had gameplay for that game?
I'm the Xbox guy here, and I didn't know none of that shit.
Is it worth looking at?
Oh, I mean, I've only seen like 5 seconds, but I guess to be fair, I forgot, yo. I could do
Robert's taking over the screen.
It's
a horror game, okay? I mean, there's some good horror games.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a first person. I don't know if it's jittery because of the screen share or if it's a game.
Probably no, because it looks pretty smooth on my screen. It's looking.
Wow, this looks.
Hey man, I think it'll probably be cool.
It's like Unreal Tournament.
This to me looks like fake gameplay. It looks like somebody made it to look like gameplay. What the hell's with this reload? Like super slow reloading. That's weird.
I mean, hey, I'm sure. Ooh, wow, Jesus, the way he sticks.
Yeah, there's a lot of sexual innuendo stuff in that trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't the game, but this reminds me of fake CGI, fake gameplay. The way he's moving, it just seems. It doesn't look like somebody's playing with the controller. I don't think the moving is necessarily
because it's fake. I think the moving is because if you move too fast, like there's no frame rate in it yet, so it's gonna look all fucked up.
Because I mean, yeah, this is very slow. This doesn't give me hope. Looks nice visually.
I kind of like what this looks like of the style of this.
Yeah, like
he can run. Okay, he can run.
That's an HR Giga thing. HR Giga thing going. But it's like this ain't no console seller.
This looks like this is slower gameplay than Cyberpunk, and maybe
we're talking about. My main complaint was about how Microsoft should have really been able to push the fucking Series X, and they haven't. They botched it to a degree. So when this stuff finally starts coming out, it's going to be great for people that already own it, but will it be too late for the potential people that they could have had excited about it by the time this stuff comes out? I don't know. That's up in the air.
I mean, Muhammad, are you genuinely excited by this gameplay, or is it just because it's something you can play on your new system?
It's something you can put on that list because we love those lists. The Sony dudes loved their lists back in the day with the PS4. early PS4 days would list all these damn games that they would never touch, but it was a list. Something they could put on their list.
What the
You
fuck?
actually.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know. This is just it's 13 minutes, but it's probably going to be something I'll enjoy.
I'm sure I'll like it.
Yeah,
but
I'll probably like it.
But again,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to think of this. To be fair, I don't know. But
my problem is that they botched the launch so far. That's my thing. We know there are games coming. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. My issue is that there should have been games already there, at least a couple.
This feels like a nice little companion game to some bigger games, not something that's gonna be like your highly anticipated system seller type game,
Well, yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything like holy shit that is gonna push consoles like that at all. But yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, that's the game.
It looks fantastic. Drops on Game Pass day one. Like, okay.
We understand these things.
Would you buy it? Would you buy it if Game Pass didn't exist? That's the question.
Would you pay $60?
Would you buy that game? I mean, yeah, it's if you're already paying for Game Pass and it shows up like the medium, I already have Game Pass. I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna go out and fucking spend $60 on it. But
yeah.
So anyway, I think we've
exhausted
talked to this enough. It's not like we'd maybe Terrell, who's not here, maybe Retro Death would rather not have Microsoft succeed, but I always said this. I want a reason that I can't say no to buy a system. Like I'm glad I don't have to spend the money right now, and but if you give me a reason, I would love to own a Series X. I feel like it'd be silly for me to, even if I found one. It would just be like an Amiibo though. If I found one, I was like, holy shit, these things are super rare. I guess I'll buy it. That's what I did for a lot of my Amiibo.
That's a beautiful comparison. I seriously love that.
I bought who did I buy? Like Ryu, King DDD, Sonic, only because they were there, and I'm like, oh shit, they got them, so I bought them. It's like that's how it kind of would be if I saw a Series X in the store or a PS5, I guess.
You're not buying it for a specific reason. It's just like, oh,
no, just so play Quantum Break, I guess. I've been planning on playing that. I've been waiting to play it.
Nobody wanted to play that on the Xbox One.
Hey man, it's a system seller.
Those enhancements.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would love to be in 2022, be just excited for the year of Xbox. That would be, I wouldn't be mad at that. Same with PlayStation. If PlayStation, if God of War is actually coming out this year, Ratchet and Clank, which I'm not a huge fan of, but looks like a solid entry, and then a couple other games, I'd be like, yeah, that's I want to get a PS5. I want to make sure I have one.
Kena?
Yep, Kena's coming. I'll just play that on PS4. But
okay, yeah.
I didn't know that game would be good.
That's right.
We don't know if it's gonna be good. It looks good.
It's also on PCs. You say you want
it looks better than Recore, like art style and stuff, but it might play.
Right.
It might play worse.
Right.
They have a lot to live up to based on everything that's been set in place.
Yeah, and Silksong, that's gonna be Switch and PC only, if that comes out this year, and so that's gonna be a decision I'm gonna have to make.
Yakuza, man.
You don't care about fucking Yakuza. You've been
going with that shit.
They've been shitting on Sony fans for a long time about Yakuza. Those games are stupid.
Now you care about Yakuza because you're getting it. Come on, man. Stop it.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Sorry, Xbox fan. I mean, we're just trying to be fair. I'm
an Xbox fan. I own.
We've been hard on Nintendo. We've been. You can't say we haven't been hard on fucking Nintendo, or at least some of us in this podcast for the last year. So Maybe Sony will get it next time. Maybe they'll do something stupid. They'll try to raise the price plus.
I'm hard on. See, I know people are different. Some people like to get on the bandwagon and make fun of stuff because that's a cool thing to do. I'm hard on the stuff that I care about. Like I want Xbox to be good. Honestly, I right now I particularly don't care about PS5, and so I'm not even hard on it. I could go in on PS5. I can go in and say, yeah, they don't have much to offer me right now, but I just don't care enough at this point to even go in on it. Like Juice with the Xbox, so it's just like
it's disappointing that Sony hasn't. They had the promise of the their new UI, but then it doesn't seem to deliver, and it makes. Just to go to sleep mode, you gotta you can't just hold the power button anymore. You have to fucking scroll across, and it's just like
you gotta press it, then go and then doop and then doop.
It's like it's just random. The little things that they need to address. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But we've been asking for the Switch, some of us, to make some changes, like significant changes to the UI.
Any changes?
And nope. But anyway,
any fucking thing at this point, anything.
We're gonna get out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and hopefully next week we'll have the full crew back, and maybe there's only next week will be February, so there's 1 week left for me to get egg on my face when that Nintendo January Direct drops.
Oh shit. Wait, is next week the top 5 then? Because I think that's what you said.
I think we're going to have to. I think next week.
We got to. Yeah, we got
I know what the 5 are. I just don't know what the order is.
Okay.
It's really hard for me to decide. But, yeah, so
you gotta get ready.
There's supposed to be a January Direct. I took a screenshot. I'm going to, in February, I'm going to go back to that comment and say, yep.
And put egg on his face, dude.
Yeah. I keep those receipts. So...
will it really stick? Will it even matter at the end of the day? It'll just squirm out of that shit.
No, but I still gonna do it. So anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Cause you're petty like that.
It's like